Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Liberland Show. I'm your host, Adam J. Carswell. Today we are joined by Faisal Butt. Faisal is the Consul General for Pakistan. Faisal, thank you for joining us today, and do you have any opening remarks for our listeners?
Hi, Adam. It's a pleasure to be on your show, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to represent myself. And I would like to thank the audience for taking the time out and showing interest in Liberland.
Absolutely. It's great to have you on. I know we were just chatting for a little bit before the call about some really interesting things that you've been involved in throughout your life and also since beginning your journey as a Liberlandian. So let's take it from there to start things off. How did you begin your journey, Faisal, as a Liberlandian?
Well, I'm sure as most of us have been through all this, I heard about Liberland back in 2015 August. And when I heard about Liberland, the first thing that attracted me towards Liberland was the motto that says, "Live and let live." And I've always been a supporter of liberty and libertarian views. And that was something that just I liked in the first instance. And then I had the opportunity to meet the president and the first lady when they were in London. We just had a casual dinner and we started talking about Liberland. And from there, I started to got to know more about Liberland. And then after a few months, in October 2015, I was appointed as the Consul General for Pakistan. I was quite happy because I had quite a bit of interest in Liberland and I wanted to promote Liberland, especially in Pakistan. That is where I am from, but I've lived all my life in UK. And it's just been going ahead since that. And I've always been a great supporter of Liberland. And then in our second anniversary back in 2016, I attended that in Croatia. And I was happy to meet the different representatives from all over the country, from all over the world. It brought me more interest into Liberland. And since then, there's no looking back.
Yeah, wow, you've been there since the beginning, pretty much. So that's good to hear and cool to know. I also, as we were speaking, you were kind of telling me your history, where you came from. You know, there's a lot of, I would say, unique facts that you have kind of hidden. So if you want to share with us, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of brag a little bit more about yourself and tell us some of the accomplishments that you've done, where you've studied, some of, maybe groups or societies that you're a part of. It's a pretty impressive list.
Yeah, actually, I'm the chairman for Pakistan Red Crescent in UK and Europe. Red Crescent is exactly like the Red Cross. So basically, it's the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, and they're one and the same. So I represent PRC, that's Pakistan Red Crescent, and UK and Europe. And we've been working on different projects. And a few years back, when the Syrian refugee crisis was there and all the Syrians were going in Greece, in the Lesbos and Lesbos Islands, me and my team in UK, we organized shelters, tents, medications. We even sent out doctors from UK to Greece in Lesbos Islands to support the refugees. And that is one of the things I had done, and I was even nominated for the MBE award in London. And apart from that, I've also been a part of Open Bethlehem. That's one of the other groups, and in Open Bethlehem, we've got about 500 high-profile people in the world who've got the honorary citizenship for Open Bethlehem. That includes the ex-president Jimmy Carter and the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's also an ambassador for Open Bethlehem, and I was given the honorary citizenship for Bethlehem as well.
I'm curious, how did that happen? How did that opportunity kind of fall into your lap?
As I was working for the refugees in Greece, I came across to meet the Interior Minister in Greece while we were working on that. And he was part of the Open Bethlehem group. And then he introduced me to their chairman. And the chairman was quite happy with what I was doing. And he was like, if I was willing to work for them as well. And I was like, I'm always up for working for humanity. That is something I find peace in. That's something like, you get inner peace in working for humanity. Mm-hmm. And then he said that we would like to, put you forward for an honorary citizenship for Bethlehem. And I was like, I'd be quite happy to be part of that. And that is how I got involved in that.
Wow. Well, now I know I could say that I know at least one honorary citizen of, it's the Bethlehem Open. There's another term that you used there, Bethlehem Group, or
it's called the Open Bethlehem Group.
The Open Bethlehem Group. That's it.
Just an organization that works Yeah, it's an organization that works towards the Bethlehem being free.
Love it. So shifting back to Liberland now, Faisal, can you tell us about a unique experience that you've had personally since becoming a Liberlandian and working with the country?
Well, there've been quite a few experiences we've had. It's been an exciting journey being part of Liberland. Initially, when I went to Croatia back in 2016 April on our anniversary, it was quite good of the president to give me a chance to travel in Air Liberland. So I had a flight in Air Liberland. I was first of the few people to travel in Air Liberland from Prague to Croatia, and that was quite exciting and interesting. And the cherry on top was that while we landed in Croatia, we were detained because apparently they found out that we were part of Liberland, and we were detained for 3 hours. But as it was an illegal thing, eventually they had to let us go. And as we were crossing the borders from Croatia to Serbia, we were detained again. So it was me and it was Adam from USA, and then we had few guys from Croatia, few guys from Czech. So there were about 9 of us. We were detained on the Croatian-Serbian border, and that happened while going from Croatia to Serbia, and then on our way back again coming into Croatia. So that was quite interesting to be detained illegally for nothing, just for supporting Liberland.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting thing.
And you said it was a group.
So, and it feels good, to be. Yeah, it was a group of 9 of us.
Yeah, and you said, sorry, I kind of cut you off there. You said it feels good to
be part of the freedom movement for Liberland. Being detained, it makes you feel like a freedom fighter.
Yeah, I agree with that. More like a true patriot.
Exactly. That was one of the experiences. And recently in Pakistan, we had Ring of Pakistan, where we had about 21 wrestlers from all over the world. And these were all international wrestlers. And we had Yasin Usmani, who was representing Liberland. And you'll be surprised, and I'm sure you must have heard about it. He won the Royal Rumble in Ring of Pakistan, and that was quite a big thing. A new wrestler, unseated wrestler, coming out of nowhere from a new country called Liberland, and then he comes up and he, beats all the 21 other international wrestlers. And part of that 21 wrestlers, it was even the WWE champion. So our wrestler, the Liberlandian, Yasin Usmani, had a chance to beat even him. And it was quite a happy moment for all of us.
Yes. I saw the highlights. I know you were sharing them internally and externally with Liberlandians. Can you tell us more about how that opportunity came to life? How was Liberland able to get a representative into this event? And I guess just paint more of the picture for us, because it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, the major part was played by Dr. Tariq Abbasi. He was the one who organized the Ring of Pakistan in Pakistan, and he was the one who brought Yasin Usmani on board, and Yasin, agreed to represent Liberland. These were all the efforts made by Dr. Tariq Abbasi, our state secretary, and hats off to him. And it was quite a big job and paid off well, and it created hype all over the place, and Liberland was more promoted, because when we got the next day, when we got the highlights everywhere in media in Pakistan, what it said, the headlines was unseated wrestler from a new country beats the world champion. And that is what attracted everyone's attention. So now everyone knows about Liberland thanks to Yasin Usmani and the efforts of Dr. Tariq Abbasi.
I love it. And it's really, I'd say, within the past year, from what I can observe, Liberland's really spreading like a wildfire as far as recognition, individuals learning more about the country and what we stand for. Can you tell us a little bit about the involvement? I know you mentioned there's something going on in Pakistan right now with the universities that has to do with Liberland. Can you tell us what movement is happening there?
After the Ring of Pakistan, we got opportunities from different universities, medical colleges. They wanted us to, hold some seminars and let the students know about Liberland. So me, Dr. Tariq Abbasi, when he was here in Pakistan a few weeks back, we got the opportunity to go to a medical college and do a seminar about Liberland. and the students were quite happy to know about Liberland. And as you know, young people, they always believe in liberty, and Liberland is based on the libertarian views. So we had quite a few interests from there, and now I've got the opportunity to speak in LUMS. That's one of the best universities in Asia. And then I've got ComSats, that's an IT university, one of the best in Asia again. So they have invited me to speak about Liberland. And apart from that, after the Ring of Pakistan, we also held a press conference in the press club, in the official press club. And we had our live interview on over 20 channels. And there were about 70 people from the print media. So since the past few weeks, Liberland's been everywhere in Pakistan. We're on the right track. We've already sent a letter to the foreign minister because we just had a new government. It's been like four months ago. So we've got a foreign minister now who we have approached for a meeting. And hopefully in the next month or two, we would be meeting the foreign minister. And we would represent to him exactly what Liberland can do for Pakistan. And who knows, sooner than later, we might have a diplomatic tie with Pakistan. That would be a big step forward.
Absolutely. And that's great news and good to hear about everything that's going on there in Pakistan. And especially for me, I'm in San Francisco, so it's hard to keep up with what might be going on in regards to Liberland and other countries. So thank you for shedding light on that. I'd say for you personally, is there anything Liberland related that you're looking forward to in 2019 to accomplish or to do personally for yourself?
I would look forward is that we get diplomatic ties finalized from most of the countries everywhere. And the first thing I can do for myself is, have a recognition from Pakistan. And who knows, 2019 might be the year where we would end up with the few official recognitions, and that would be a step forward in the right direction.
And in regards to individuals in Pakistan who might hear this podcast, or really anyone around the world, what advice do you have for an aspiring, ambitious Liberlandian?
Well, Liberland is the way forward. It's a new country with new ideas, something which is never been done before. That is exactly what Liberland is, where people can live freely without any interference from the government, and they can do whatever they like as long as it's legal. With things where we're starting to do like blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency and decentralization. So these are the things we are introducing in Liberland. And I'm sure we have plenty of interest from around the world, and people are and would be willing to be part of Liberland.
Definitely. Is there, or actually, well, I'm going to ask you for your contact information or for a way for anyone to get in touch with you, but we'll get to that in a second, because the other question I do have for you is, where do you see Liberland, say, in the next 3 to 5 years?
I see Liberland as a fully recognized sovereign state where people can come in and go out officially, and we would be on the world map. We would have our own currency, which would be like legal tender, and which would be used in anywhere else where people can exchange their currency with our currency. And we would have proper diplomatic ties with the rest of the countries where people can use our passports to travel to any other part of the world.
I love it. Actually, and I have to ask you, what was it like? I think you touched on it a little bit, but what was it like flying Air Liberland? What was the plane like? What's something we can all kind of look forward to as Liberlandians in flying?
Well, it was a different experience because I've traveled all over the world, but it was my first experience to travel in a private jet, and that too something that says Air Liberland on that. So it was a experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, I agree. I look forward to my first day flying Air Liberland as well. Well, Faisal, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. Is there a way that...
for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to talk to you.
And you're the first episode of 2019, so here we go. We're hitting the gates. I'm trying to find the right word. We're getting off to a good start, is what I'm trying to say.
Hopefully. Thank you, Adam. Thanks a lot. And for anyone who wants to contact me, my official email address is pakistan@liberland.org.
Well, you heard it right there, everyone. Thank you, Faisal, for joining us. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to episode 10 of the Liberland Show with Faisal Butt. I'm your host, Adam J. Carswell, and we will catch you in the next episode.